my beauties. Sorry for starting late here. I got a little distracted playing Pal World. It was a lot of fun. Last we left off, we were fighting bosses or something. I don't remember. The game crashed and I was not having it. You just... Okay, we're all the way back here. Good. Good to know.
Such an ominous sight. And yet I find it strangely nostalgic.
Yep, strangely nostalgic. We've been through this 3 times now? No, I think 4, because I had to reload a save to go back for that Phoenix Sword. What good that did at this point now, huh, right? I'm so sorry. Yes, it is very, very pretty. Wait a minute. There's ruined cities in the distance. Or, like, there's just a ruined city, like, surrounding this thing. I thought we were, like, up in a void or something. That's... interesting. Yes, hello, verbs.
Yeah,
why did you... how...
Every time I do this, I'm so tempted to, like, give the wrong answers.
I answer
that you may...
Well then, it seems the way is open. It's the twin.
Hopla.
Hey, this is even if you can't...
We're here to...
No dice, huh? No.
What a shame. What a shame. What a damn shame. Alright, let me kick your asses, girls.
What's happening?
Sorry, but this fate was predetermined. Still, we spoke to truth. We really wanted to avoid this if possible. We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so. Until the next generation came along.
What are you talking about?
Are they shades?
I don't think so.
It's a lie. I don't believe it.
We never thought you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire Vice. You are a traitor.
I am so curious what, like, they mean by all this.
What now?
And Vice gets tased.
Copied my powers.
Shit on a shingle. They can use the sealed verses.
Of course we can. The power came from us in the first place. You were simply
Oh, I
a
forgot to
small
mute Discord.
portion of
To put him in Do Not Disturb.
it. Vice, are you all right?
Hopla. Why are you guys doing this?
Well, let me just tab out of the fight for a few seconds to, you know... Do not disturb. Minimize so I can see chat. Oh. Oh, I was kind of hoping I would still be getting
Why are you
hit.
siding with the Shades?
That would have been funny. Because the Shadow King. That's why they're siding with the Shades, you know? Yes, punchy punch. Ouchie.
Why?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadow Lord.
The Shadow Lord.
I got another achievement for defeating them within 3 minutes!
Devila and Popola are fighting us.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us through a great deal of...
You okay, Vice?
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest
Well, I can't
asset.
do this right now, so I'll be right back
But
with some
now the
pizza.
latter seems to be... Help.
Vice?
Do not look at me like that. I am Grimoire Weiss. I am perfectly...
I think I put my pizza in the air fryer for too long. It is a little more than just a wee bit crispy.
I think I hear a waltz.
Oh! The board fight again.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
They're all Shades!
I think we're locked in!
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
There's an experience gain. Hello, welcome to the game. Sorry for being so late. As I said earlier, I got a wee bit distracted playing a Pal World. Stab him.
Damn it! It won't stop coming!
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
Oh, how I do love a good...
Fights!
Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us. Come on.
Kaine! Hurry!
It's not open yet? Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
No, you idiots. What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Stop, you impatient fool.
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard! Open the fuck up already! Ugh! Got it.
If you've played it, imagine Survival Arc or Survival Evolved. You know, the game with the dinosaurs and all that. But you don't have to fucking restart your computer to close it. And with off-brand Pokemon instead of dinosaurs.
Freaking me out! Kaine! What's wrong?
We need to help Kaine!
Oh, it's also got like the hang glider from whatchamacallit, from Breath of the Wild.
We need to help Kaine!
You okay?
Yeah. Well, we got problems.
It honestly feels like the kind of game I would make, if I knew how to make games. In that, like, I would just take the ideas I like from other games and try to mesh them together.
We don't need forgiveness, asshole.
Kaine?
Ow, fuck.
It seems to lose some control when it charges.
How should I know?
Kaine, are you all right?
I'm fine. Let's just kill some shit and move on, alright?
Damn shit.
Oh dear.
So much defense from this armor.
Can we even hurt this thing?
Fuck! Oh no!
I can't stop now. Damn it.
Stay focused, Kaine. Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on! We have to keep going!
Let's go. This way. Move.
No, I think it's meant to be unkillable, like it revives every time and just spews poison fog out.
Up here!
Okay, let's not crash this time.
How can we deal with this thing?
Please, hurry!
Oh, it's just an instant loss if it catches up to me, okay. The me lens. Yep. I've got to use it. It's got to be my main weapon now. It's a considerable like damage drop off. But he had grown old. The king's dauntless gaze had lost its light, and his stalwart body had grown soft. What more? Every ounce of fear and vanity had gained with age now gnawed away at his heart. The king was afraid, so he repeatedly ordered the invasion of the neighboring countries, so as to hold onto the lands he had been sworn to protect. The king was afraid, so he tried to take everything through violence and oppression, for he no longer trusted his own advisors and vassals.
Up here!
How can we deal with this thing?
Please, hurry!
Well. This is gonna be, This Dragoon land seems to have been used by a king, so,
Up here.
makes sense why I should use it. Right? I'm a king, eh?
How can we deal with this thing?
Please, hurry.
Am I doing something wrong? Do I have to actually, like, stab my way through boxes? I don't know.
Up here.
How can we deal with this thing?
Please, hurry.
Damn it, I can't get it open.
Oh no, the piggy closed the door.
The entrance is locked too.
I'm switching back to my usual spear just for now. We'll use the Phoenix or the Dragoon Lance once
It
we're like
seems we are in a
able
bit
to
of a
upgrade it.
predicament. Strike the beast while it's down.
Hit the thing while it's down.
What?
タサ程度とチイルトテ
I'm surprised this one gave. What? How are you here? What?
手槌パセより
Unseal the exit. Let our friends through.
あらペルアとシデンチウセキオンイラコク
さあついて
What are you doing here?
サルリとシータ
My citizens were speaking.
カイザム特キロだろ
You are correct.
やアラントテ三世隊
Talk-
ルワリワリとテトラなんか知っちんで
But
アウラペルアと
飛んだ来てキリゴイタリ
アンフィアとサチのチサタと止めるたカイザムチ
Seriously, how did they get here?
奇跡おあ
Okay, I guess. Good luck, boys.
Hey! Stop! Let me go! Stop it! Damn it! King, no!
ギ後で
We'll meet again, you and I, once all of this is over.
アコ
Till then.
No! Open the door! You can't fight that thing on your own!
サラユククオタオキアルタリートクルト
You must once again know the joy of having one you love by your side!
勝てケタルイトエチケロアルテリアだせ
ギルジー
各石騎士
心中カレルタカイザン
We always
テラス
あんだあらたてウラーヌ
The honor of the mask!
チ
For the honor of the king! The honor of our queen!
Open the damn door!
Knock it off already. Let's go.
Kaine.
He's fighting for you. And for Fira. Don't let him die for nothing.
My friend.
Imagine this isn't even the right direction they shoved us down. Is that how, like, statistics work? Blind chance, 1 of 3 doors, it's a 33% chance. The council has chosen.
Devila. Popola.
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1,300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Gestalt?
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Weiss? Then let's give you a refresher.
I would have loved to read some of that. You obtain Project Gestalt documents. I guess I can read that later on.
Weiss! My mind. I remember. Devila. Popola. You are not human. In fact. Oh no.
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real bitch. You want to finish that thought for him, sister? All of us, every person standing in this room, are mere shells created by the true humans.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
I knew it!
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No. They still live on. You know them as shades. Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths agape and just get down to business.
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time. Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty. Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans. You have your own motives, your own desires. And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
Okay, I didn't know that we were shells, but I knew we weren't
Don't
human.
speak such foolishness.
Sorry.
Ow, fuck. Bubble first. Always bubble
You and
first.
us, we're the same. Tools in the hands of a master.
No! I'm nothing like you!
Oh, I can't get up to that one.
Devila? Devila? Popola, are you crying? No! Don't die! You know, Popola, I understand now why we're twins. It's because we were born without souls. Devila, I can't stop the bleeding. Oh God, I can't stop it. This world is too lonely for one without a soul. There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing. And yet somehow our tears still work. It's kind of weird. Sorry, sis. I love you. Devila! Devila!
So much
Don't
blood.
you go!
Okay, I actually like it.
No, I can't be
So
alone!
good into her clothes.
Devila!
Popola. Let's stop this now.
Stop? Stop? Now you want to stop? You think you have the luxury to stop? You cut down my sister like a goddamn animal and now you want to stop? Popola, wait! It doesn't have to- No one stops! It's way too late to stop! No one stops!
Please, don't do this, Popola! You and Devila were like parents to me!
Holy shit!
Those two have watched the world wither for time immemorial. The coolness of such a fate is difficult to measure.
I don't want to do this! I don't want to fight her!
Stop bitching and start fighting! It's the only way!
Okay, well this is what I feel like rather than Darklands having a gluttony would be good. No, not Whirlwind. I saw that just before going through. Honestly. The bubble's kind of fucking broken.
No stopping. No stopping ever.
The bridge!
Blast! We're trapped.
I've got an idea.
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right. You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes. And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. But there's something else there now. Something like pride, you know? I mean, without all this, I couldn't have become your friend. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.
Emil.
For so long, all I could do was destroy. But now, I have a chance to save something.
No!
Now get going, okay?
Emil.
Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
Emil! Emil!
Gently push the bubble away.
Emil! You jackass, get back here! Emil!
I mean, it's kind of sad to watch him die, but like...
Oh dear. Kaine's so unstable, and Vice can't stop arguing with people. I hope they can hold it together once I'm gone.
I mean, will you be gone?
I guess they'll just have to learn.
Oh.
I want to see you again. I want to see all of you again. Just one more time. I'm scared. I don't want to die.
Well, that's depressing. Oh! Oh! There's pizza in the fridge if you want it. I'd say it was more of an implosion. Fuck! I think it might be Kaine next.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh no, he berates her and all, but you know they love each other. As friends. That's a lot of... So do you think the little one were children? Wow, they all died, like, remarkably easy. Yeah, the squid one was definitely, like, a literal child, so... Size probably isn't determinant of anything. Besides maybe status? Busuloth. Physical strength plus 30%. Maybe? Yes, I absolutely had to pick up the leather boots, you know? What would I do without my leather boots? So wait, Emil was also part of, like, Project Gestalt. But his memories were gone, for whatever reason. Why did Coppola and, Devila not, like, mention anything about that in front of just now? Maybe, but they did also know Weiss seemingly very well, and they did call him a traitor, so, like...
This ends here.
Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
How can a mere tool hope to stand stand against the Shadow Lord.
Don't speak in such a manner, fool. I am nothing like you.
Impossible!
Right?
Be careful!
I know!
Why would I need to be careful? Just put up a bubble and smack as fast and hard as I can. Bubble's gone. Bubble's gone. Yeah, honestly, the bubble does kind of trivialize the game. I'm not gonna argue, because dear lord, imagine, like, trying to deflect and block all the attacks.
Vice, you alright?
Naturally, I am as fit as a fit.
Like, genuinely, as long as they don't take this bubble from me, I mean, yeah, sure, new game plus, no bubble run. I mean, he still had, like, a good third of his health left, so that's definitely not the end of the fight.
Brother?
Yona.
So what do you think the Black Scrawl would be, is in this sense, then?
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him.
I get the feeling that on like a second or third playthrough, we'll be able to hear what he's saying and shit.
It's you, isn't it?
Yes, it's me. Let's go home.
Is she going to expose herself to sunlight or something and thus be, like, exercised?
I'm really sorry. Just know that I love you.
Popola and Devila?
Hurry.
Or do you
The
mean
shape
Kaine
of possessed her
and,
is gone.
I've already forgotten his name, god damn it. So yeah, Kaine and the little boy.
Kaine, watch over Yoda for me.
That's just sitting
I
down.
understand your sadness. You think
I
I'm
mean,
gonna sympathize
that
with
could
you?
be it.
I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Now come on, let's finish this.
Come down and fight me, coward.
Vice, what's wrong? Oh,
Strength drop. Magic drop. Defense drop.
You're freaking me out here, Vice.
What did Vice just say?
Strike the killing blow.
Oh sweet, he's landed. I mean, theoretically possible, I guess. Like, I remember they did something similar for Nier Automata, the game before this one.
No bother. One moment, please.
you okay?
Fine, just fine. Alright, no, I'm not.
Vice,
I guess you were right.
It seems some
Book was
headstrong
next.
idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Vice, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
Let's go. Out of the way. I have one final task to fulfill.
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
You can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that, yes? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Vice. I knew you'd come around.
Don't let it go to your head now.
Did the song just dramatically sing a retard? Well, shit.
Something to defend. I have a reason to live.
Let me fucking dodge roll. I literally can't stand up. I also cannot dodge. What, was my ability to jump attached to the book? fuck's sake. This is fucking retarded. Like, okay, take my spells from me, but don't take my literal physical capabilities away from me. The fuck is this bullshit? Oh! They rebound it! To what it used to be. Why? That's fucking stupid. You defeated the Shadow Lord. Oh, and I can't rebind it anymore. Great, I'm stuck with shift being dodge from now on, apparently. Fuck.
Is Yona all right? Oh God, no.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
Weiss? Where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form. Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely. Your sister is safe. Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her. Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
I don't know.
Typical. But take heart. I know you can do it.
Oh no, I have to feed her poorly made soup.
What's my favorite food? Cookies. What's my favorite book? That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place? Home with you. What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course. Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone? Is that you?
Yona.
Is this my body?
Yes, Yona. It's yours and yours alone.
You look bigger than before. Like you've grown up.
Well, yeah. I guess you haven't seen me for a while.
Have I been asleep this whole time?
Something like that.
It's almost like I'm a princess from some fairy tale.
Oh, Yona. I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Kaine.
You and your sister, you have a good life, Kay?
Where are you gonna go?
Guess I'll...
You could stay with us, you know.
Thanks, but I'll pass. You know how it is. I got my own shit to take care of.
What do you mean?
Personal shit, alright? Anyway, Take it easy, yeah?
Kaine.
Hey, look. It's beautiful. For the longest time, I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it.
So like all the shades we've been murdering are kind of like the souls of humans. I fucking knew it. It is very bright indeed.
Thank you. I love it.
Why are they children? Again? Is this a flashback?
It's so sunny today.
Yeah, it sure is.
I guess they're together in the afterlife. Oh, hey! It is the ending? Well, that's the first playthrough of Nier Automata, or Nier Replicant, I mean. But if it's anything like Automata, then there's definitely gonna be shit that happens differently if you play through it like 24 more times. Each one being slightly different somehow. I didn't think of, like, 2, I guess? Like, me beheading the Shadow Lord, I guess that could be, like, a splitting off point, or, like, Yona actually recovering. That could have failed, I guess. What do you mean? Oh god, yeah. But I'm not sure if I'm willing to go through that fucking fishing shit. Plus, I definitely missed picking up a few quests before, like, the 5-year time jump. What question mark? Oh, the Prince of Fira, the Prince of Facade and Fura were voiced by the same person. That's kind of fascinating. Now hey, I see what you mean by question mark, question mark, question mark. Was he? Or she? Were they? I honestly haven't been paying attention. Oh look, Spanish localization. Look, more question marks. Shotaro, more the Kubo. Spike Spencer, question mark, question mark, question mark. Man, we're only in the T's. Oh, Tina. Holy shit! That person, one of those people's names, like the first letter of like all three of their names was TTT. Yusuke Yamanaka. Zi Xuan Zhao. Alright. Select a save file to start again. Alright, that'd be this one. Alright. Fuck. I'm surprised they had that. Z, alright. That's... Yes? NDB, loading your clear data after completing the game to experience Kaine's story. You can now read a departed mother's diary in your house. Wardrobe has been added to the options menu. New outfits can be obtained by progressing through a departed mother's diary. Change music has been added to the game settings section of the options menu. Saving. System data saved. Well. Let's experience Kaine's story.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
What's up? Yeah, I am questioning why we're, like, starting at this point instead of, like, 5 years prior, but hey. Each subsequent playthrough is probably going to be shorter than the original. Kaine's dream. Discrimination. What do you mean? You just run through the endings one by one by one by one. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly towards the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vane slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly towards the east. East? Really? Before the vane could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder. Before a voice rang out. Oh, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment, but Kaine seemed indifferent to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentors' parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt. Oh look, the little freak's gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was a few inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak! 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 Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her torments turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying! Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throwing a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining! Ain't no one ever died from a scratch? You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! The thing could have killed me! The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backwards and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here! Either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ah! Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulder, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress, and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. Kaine's tears turned to sobs, and she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulder. Despite her advancing age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the voice of her love for the old woman. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. While the next. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother. But when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If any could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Course not. Don't be an ass. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, and it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough, even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's Dreams, Daily Life. Is this entire section going to be a book? Fuck. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sound of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. "Grandma!" called Kaine. "That you, Kaine?" yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Don't get too close, or it might take your goddamn foot off by mistake. Or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can't get you water or a lunch or a new axe or something." The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water?" "Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no change in it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her grandmother. And rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing, the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect it with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Oh, crap! She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging. The blisters soon began to form on her small, pink hands. "This is tough, and my logs are all weird-sized." Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheeze of laugh. "Pretty clumsy, girl! You better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. Can't let it spill." Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. "Stop that! You just stop!" she cried, breathing heavily. "It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip, that is all." Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaky hands and worn face told her more than the words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the position would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick, and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it. God damn it. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heel, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey lady, said Kaine, with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered rage. How dare this thing speak to me, they seemed to say. But Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right, before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. Where are you? What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for medication. Ah! Barked Demo. That old bitch finally kneel over? Go to hell, Demo! The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the store, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead for a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, and then looked down at Kaine and smiled, handing her the medicine. Pardon. He reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crowns. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not too sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Callie, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Callie? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crowns from the apothecary's hand. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. Here's why thank you, Xbox, for the lovely text to read. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe, finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her granddaughter, or her grandchild. She leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So, anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crowns from her pocket after a brief explanation of their source. She informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous! No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Horse shit, said her grandmother, throwing her back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crowns away and help with dinner. But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house, as if posting for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Not me to be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reached for the paper. This sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me. I love it. And I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll always treasure it. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kane would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kane could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take it down. I'll take this down when they roll me on my shoulder." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kane and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before, and it makes me want to go on. So that someday you can feel the same happiness." It was at a moment that burned itself in Kane's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. It's so sweet. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kane swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kane's dreams. Separation. Nope! We're going through this until we can save! Kane listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. "Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug." The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. "It's not a bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs?" "Yeah? Well, it sure looks like a bug," said Kane. "And I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible." With that, Kane held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. "Oh yeah? That's terrible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, alright." "Why, you little brat," laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact." 5 years had passed since the moment when Kane's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, the relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kane could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kane started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so, this morning found Kane lacing her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today?" asked Grandma suddenly. Kane looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. "Well, I was going to check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow." "Flagstones? What the hell for?" Kane stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home, constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble. The old place sagged like a box in the final round. "Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house, and I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection." The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. "God damn, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday." The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. "Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelmetries, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment, she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead of walking over to the nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're gonna be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and bullying and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up and removed the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. Reached up to remove the garland. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma. That's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. Nope. I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes and kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself. But in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel and for one final look, and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshack hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot on itself. No! Oh gods, no! Our grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine then ran faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground. She leapt on her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark, not just fire. Can't be fire, too much smoke. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke was from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, Horns and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment the creature retreated into a shimmering inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. "Alright, you bastard!" she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you and me! Let's go!" The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest, then began looking from her to the house, back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced towards the house. Through the smoke and flame, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive!" thought Kaine. "Alive!" Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth, and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to the earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma, hold on, just a little longer. Her grandma's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. "Bastard! Laughing at us!" She had no idea how such a mindless creature could express emotion. But there could be no doubt. The shade was taking joy in their suffering. "Yeah, I see your plan." The shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. "I'm gonna kill this bastard!" Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as her foot twisted backwards, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on her foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent her rushing through the air towards the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. "Kaine!" Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands, reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma, Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. We have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no! I said run, god damn it. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade clawed a foot and descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes, as the terrible, putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep, red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backwards, tried to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing into the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't. Can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke, and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. 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 Kill it now! And the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die. She felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. We are saving the first fucking moment we get the chance.
The beast approaches.
Well, I know.
It seems like it, yeah. Has it? I think I have been reading that for an hour, haven't I?
creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
My throat hurts after reading all that. Kaine's dreams. Encounter. Oh, okay, fuck it. Gently. Weakly. Softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagine, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. Pardon. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought, with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ah! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you, and that way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. I want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No! Don't hurt that picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye to see back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now! She looks just like you! Ha-cha-cha! I look like that? Oh god! Oh god, I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kane laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. "Ain't you got a wish, sunshine?" The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if instantly had somehow found a way to take form. As if the voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish? Like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man of the sky, save me, save me! Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best! Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her leg. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet, and then began moving up towards the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upwards, feel the hot, searing pain in it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to get up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body! Come on, give it to me! Give it to me! I want to stand at the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. In response, Kaide shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain that of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop! Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request. I mean, it regrew a limited eye. As if considering the request, then quickly shivered down her body before disappearing into a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, sunshine! Screamed the voice. We had a deal! I thought you wanted to die! Grandma? Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her, and heard its mocking laughter, and then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now. Jesus, my throat is sore now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letter seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. We're having soft tacos later? No! No soft tacos, we're being dramatic now! The arm clearly had a will of its own. The more emotional she felt, the more the letter seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop! Gotta stop! Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it! Pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just sup and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me. We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now! Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, well, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What? You think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want it. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun! So listen, my name's Tyron, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now, get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour, and I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade, and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same with you, Tyron. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyron. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine. And watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn, and the people of the area arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
I'm gonna go grab a bottle of water while it runs through this
You gotta come back
cutscene.
to us!
Oh, hey.
And I'm back. Ah, fuck, this is a lot of reading.
Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great.
It really does.
Thank you.
That also explains the arm and leg being like covered constantly.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain.
This is why I love the fucking
That is,
Nier
until
games
Devil
that
and
I've played
Popola
so
had
far.
to go and ruin it all.
Because they like tell a they tell a solid story, and then they like give greater context in subsequent playthroughs.
Please try
Fucking
to understand.
right. My throat is going to be so sore if it doesn't.
People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
Oh god, like watch it like have me play as Kaine or something, and I cannot enter the village. Like any of the villages besides the desert one.
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it.
So like that's the only place I could go to save.
Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
Besides like right outside boss rooms and in dungeons. Oh god.
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
And the scrapyard, yes. Oh god. Okay.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself. I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that...
Campfires are weird, aren't they? I feel like I could stare at the flames forever. I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please.
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing.
I don't remember ever mentioning that, like the shade possession thing in like the
My
first
body
playthrough.
is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
I mean, at least with Baldur's Gate 3, I could hit escape and save in the middle of the conversation and be like, okay, we're ending the stream here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Dragon made every new friend, and guess what? He's a king! I wish I had some friends.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well. What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
No, 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 I fucked up!
Say there, can you not hear me?
The fuck?
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Has he become a man? What the fuck? I want to equip the dragoon. But it's... yeah. Yes. Oh, thank God. Last night, Dragon told me stories until I fell asleep. I don't remember anything. But boy, am I...
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Okay. Oh shit, I can harvest all these flowers. I'm gonna go save, end the stream here, and then I'm gonna harvest those flowers. It's been lovely having you all here, my cuties and my beauties. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to leave this save on, like, as is. I don't know why. I can go back to the blacksmith now and everything, but... never mind, I'm gonna overwrite it eventually. Anyway, goodbye, good day, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye, my cuties and my beauties.